Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we need to be working on creating some prefabs for our parcels here. We've already got the parcel meshes made here, so let's just go ahead and bring those right out here. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and create an empty game object at 0, 0, 0. And we will call this crate for now. And then we'll just drag crate into there, and we'll just set the position of that. There we go. And we'll call that crate graphics. Okay. So I don't think we will ever need a collider on these. Maybe? Maybe we would, actually. We might want to have a tooltip on them, right? Yeah, we probably would want to have a tooltip. Okay. So in that case, we would want to do a box collider for all of these. Nice and simple. They're all basically box-shaped, so it should be fine. We'll add a box collider, and then we're going to need to do a tooltip object. And then we're going to need to do a parcel graphics script to put in what exactly our tooltip says. Need to figure out the structure of that. So let's go ahead and create ourselves a script there. So we'll do it in, I guess in here, this is fine. We'll call this parcel graphics. Okay. And then in the on mouse over, like, how did we implement that before? Let's just check the world hex here. And just double check how we implemented that previously. On mouse enter, all we did was change this. I'm guessing the tooltip object automatically does that. So tooltip equals blah blah blah, and then tooltip title, tooltip line, tooltip content. Okay, so we would need to do an update tooltip method in the parcel graphics here. And we would need a reference to our tooltip object. Public tooltip object. We'll call that TTO. Why is this not seeing that it's a tooltip object? It's also not giving an error, so I'm guessing it just needs to reload. That's my theory anyway. And then we will have this be, I mean, realistically, I don't think we need a start or an update. Public void update tooltip. Okay, and then we're also going to want a public void on mouse enter. Just like we did for the world hex here, except instead of doing this, we are simply going to do something more along the lines of update tooltip. So whenever you mouse over it, it'll automatically update the tooltip. Now it's probably going to need a reference to the actual parcel, so public parcel, no, not parcel graphics, just parcel, and Visual Studio just is not updating. I'm going to restart it here. There we go. Now it's actually working correctly. Excellent. Okay, so when we update this tooltip, what do we want it to say? Well, we've got our information in the parcel here. We know the parcel type, we know the shipping speed, we know whether it's been sorted or not, we know the origin, we know the destination, and by that we can get the distance, and we should probably do something along the lines of public float distance, and then this would be a get set, essentially. So, well, it would just be a get. For now, we could return -1. We could pathfind the actual distance, or we could just estimate it. If we were to just estimate it, we would need to multiply it by a particular number to be able to determine in the number of building hexes what the estimated distance is there. essentially we would be using the square magnitude between the two positions here. For that to happen, though, we would need to have a reference to the hex manager. Which is theoretically possible, I suppose. We could do something like public hex manager, like this, and then in a constructor, public parcel hex manager equals capital manager, like that. And then, of course, I mean, yeah, we'll just return -1 right now so that compiles. And that should give us an error in the parcel manager, theoretically, right? Yes. So then we would pass in the hex manager, like that. And now the parcels know about the hex manager. So that's great. We need to then properly calculate this. So essentially, vector3 origin pose equals manager dot get building hex position. We want the vector3, and then we would pass in the origin. And then vector3 destination pose equals manager dot get building hex position, again, destination, like so. And then we just need the square magnitude of it. So for now, we could just simply return origin pose minus destination pose dot square magnitude. Or we could just do a full-on magnitude. We're not going to be calling this very frequently, and that's probably a little bit... I mean, it's more accurate because it's got the square root call there. So yeah, that would be pretty doable. Of course, that just gives it to us in Unity units, which aren't exactly what we're looking for, realistically speaking. We're looking for it in essentially the size of building hex. So let me just hide these for right now. We'll get back to those in a moment, and we need to figure out just how big a building hex is. Now, it's 0.1 scale. Inside of a 0.1 scale. Yep. Okay, so it's 0.1 times 0.1. So 0.1 times 0.1 is 0.01, naturally. So we know that 0.01 is roughly the size of one of these things. However, these things are essentially 2 by default. So we need to divide by 2 to get us in world hexes, essentially. So let's go ahead and divide by 2 this number here, divided by 2f, and that gets us our value essentially in world hexes. And then we need to multiply by 0.1f, and that gets us our value in biome hexes, and then multiply by 0.1f again to get us our value in building hexes, right? Wrong, because we actually need to divide by 0.1f, because it's awkward. So yeah, we divide this by 2, and then we divide by 0.1f, which is essentially multiplying by 10. And then we do the same thing again. Okay. So that should get us our actual distance that this is going. Now, realistically, we won't know that unless it's been sorted. So the parcel graphic here, when we update the tooltip, we want to go ahead and say something like TTO dot, and what are these variables? Let's go into here. Come on, go ahead and compile. Nope. Hide that, and we come in here. We've got the tooltip title, tooltip line, and tooltip content. So then, the essentially it would change drastically based on whether the package has been sorted or not. So if parcel.sorted else, let's go ahead and create the else first. So we should probably go ahead and have it say, we know the parcel type for sure without sorting it. Do we know the shipping speed? I'm not convinced we do. We know the origin. We don't know the destination before we sort it. We do know the type. We don't know the speed. Do we know the volume and weight? I feel like we should. I also feel like we shouldn't. Like, that would be something... Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We should know that because we should be able to look at it and say, why didn't the vehicle pick this up? Oh, it's not going to fit in the vehicle. Okay. But at the same time, we shouldn't authoritatively know the volume and the weight here until it's been measured and weighed in a sorting facility. This is a conundrum. Maybe we should have, like, approximations? And we don't know exactly the volume and the weight? Or maybe we should just know the volume and the weight. And we just don't know, like, the destination is the important part. So we don't know the destination or the speed without it being sorted? Maybe? I don't know, that could work. So the TTO.tooltip title would be the same no matter what. And that tooltip title is going to be equaling the parcel.type. Of course, we're going to need to convert that over to a string. So system.enum.getName. And of course, this would be a type of... this would be... What did I call that, enum? Not in parcel manager, it's in parcel. Parcel type. Parcel type, and then parcel.type. I've forgotten how to do the type of, didn't I? I have. Because you go like this instead. It's not a cast. What am I talking about? There we go. System.enum.getName type of parcel type. So one thing to note is that it is going to, for the shipping container, not put a space here. We can run a quick check here. If ttO.tooltipTitle equals shipping container, then we can just say ttO.tooltipTitle equals shipping container with a space. Nothing else has a space, so we don't need to do that for anything else there. And then that's easy enough. So at that point, we have our title for the tooltip. The separator can remain where it is. We should probably do something along the lines of ttO.content or .tooltipContent equals. And one thing to note here is that in our UI, our tooltip, which is here, we are using a text mesh pro text, which means we can use rich text, which means that we can do something like this. Color equals, can I just do red for Text Mesh Pro? I think we can. Color equals red, but we wouldn't want that to be the case for a sorted one. So color equals green. Package has been sorted. Now, here's the thing. At what point will the parcel graphics be visible, but the package not be sorted? I don't know, but we'll have support for it just in case. So then we will close our color tag there. Otherwise, we will say tto.tooltipContent equals, and we're probably ultimately going to want to do this via a string builder, but for right now, or rather a string.format, but for right now, this will be okay. Color equal, no, we need to be in quotation marks. Color equals red. Package has not been sorted. Okay. So let's do this in a string instead. So string sorting status equals this. There we go. And we'll do the same thing up here. String sorting status equals this. Okay. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode we are going to keep working on our tooltip and making our parcels actually spawn. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.